Welcome to Thoroughbred Action from Gulfstream Park. I'm your host, Ron Nicoletti. It is Saturday. We have a fantastic card, 12 races. We want to get right to those track and weather conditions. The main track fast, the turf course firm. The first race, 7.5 furlongs on the turf. These are maiden claimers, fillies, 3-year-olds. Claiming price is $25,000. Scratch the 6, Starship Supergirl.
They're off. And it's Dabria and Duchess Bird out for the lead together, with Daddy's Pride on the inside away well. Valiant Vixen came out running in fourth, right to the outside of them, and now tucking back from the trio there and going extremely wide into the turn was Quinta Tata. Talitha Coombe did not handle the turn well at all, but Quinta Tata was extremely wide. So it's Daddy's Pride who will lead the way early on here and get away to lead by 1.5 lengths over Dabria running in second. And then it's Duchess Bird, Valiant Vixen to the inside, and Talitha Coombe. Break of 2.5 to Daydream Believer. Rora Ima and Quinta Tata to the outside. And then Rara moving up alongside of them, followed by High Heels and Octocato along the rail. 24 flat was the first quarter mile. Daddy's Pride up the backstretch in front, with Dabria running in second, 1.5 lengths behind. Duchess Bird tracks them third on the outside. At the rail comes Valiant Vixen in fourth, now 3 lengths off the lead, followed by Talitha Coombe as they make their way for the far turn. And then it's Rara, Daydream Believer. They went 48-2 for a half mile. Behind them, Quinta Tata's next. Then Octocato, High Heeled, and Rora Ima. Around the far turn, Daddy's Pride, Dabria, now edging up alongside. These two are head and head as they come to the top of the stretch. And they're clear 3 lengths of Duchess Bird in third. They're into the stretch. Dabria runs up alongside of Daddy's Pride. Dabria and Daddy's Pride fight it out in the final furlong, and they're still stride for stride. Duchess Bird is 4 lengths behind them. Daddy's Pride keeps on battling. Dabria just can't get by. Daddy's Pride did it. Dabria was second, and then Duchess Bird, High Heeled, and Octocato.
Number 4, Daddy's Pride, survives a steward's inquiry and wins it and pays $13.20, owned by DeLuca and Son Stables, trained by Augusta Bazara and ridden to victory today by Carlos Oliveira. The second race, a 1-mile maiden claiming event for 4-year-olds and upward. No Lasix on the number 3. The jockey on the 11 is Vincente Gudiel.
They're off. And it's King's Knight who has a good start. Wild and Wild is also fast out of the gate. Leonides de Roma's got some early speed too. And now the field is making their way out of the chute. And there goes Niam's Honor on the outside to battle for the lead. And Charlie's Wisdom comes up the rail as well. So out of the chute and onto the backstretch, the leader is Leonides de Roma. Niam's Honor on the outside running in second. Charlie's Wisdom follows in third. And then comes Power on Earth on the outside, followed by Wild and Wild, who's 3 lengths off the lead. King's Knight is running in between horses now, and about 5 lengths behind as the field continues their run up the backstretch. And then it's El Catracho, who's down on the inside, and right to the outside of them is Burning Wild. Break of 3 to Phil's Comprise. Cross that bridge it is next, and then Fury of the Nile. The first quarter was up in 24 seconds flat, and they raced past a half in 47 2/5 seconds and move for the far turn, where battling for the lead, it's Leonides de Roma on the outside of Charlie's Wisdom. These two are a neck apart, and they've got 3 lengths on King's Knight, who's making progress and doing it well now. And here comes King's Knight right up to the front-running pair, and 3 of them are across the track. Wild and Wild follows in fourth, and they've put 7 lengths ahead of the rest of the field, and King's Knight has taken the lead. Eddie Castro and King's Knight under a hand ride here at the top of the stretch, pulling away to lead by 3, now 4. Leonides de Roma battles with Charlie's Wisdom for second, and then it's Wild and Wild in fourth. But as they pass the 16th pole, it's an easy win here for King's Knight. Never even asked to run. Comes under the wire, eased up by about 6. And then it was Leonides de Roma, followed by Charlie's Wisdom, Wild and Wild, and Phil's Comprise.
Number 6, King's Knight, the favorite, proves too good for this group. Pays $2.80, owned by Worldwide Promotion Enterprises, LLC, trained by Marcial Navarro, and ridden today by Eddie Castro. We're going to take a short break. We'll be back for race number 3. Welcome back for the third race, 7 furlongs. It's an allowance race for 4-year-olds and up with a late scratch of number 7, Gray Glory.
They're off. We're All Set had the best start. On the outside, being sent along is Juan and Bina, and Juan and Bina grabs the lead now. And then it's Deep Sea, followed by Color Me Pom Pom. Break of 3 lengths back to High Kodiak Warrior, who races at the back with Travel True as the field heads up the backstretch. Juan and Bina in front. We're All Set to the outside. Now a neck back running in second, and just behind them are Deep Sea and Color Me Pom Pom. The first 4 closely packed, and they've got 7 lengths on High Kodiak Warrior and Travel True. A 22 and 4/4. There's a half mile to go. Juan and Bina by a neck over We're All Set. Color Me Pom Pom is just to the outside, 3 of them in a line, and Deep Sea waits in 4th, just in behind those 3. It's still about 7 lengths more. Back to High Kodiak Warrior and Travel True is last. Around the far turn, Juan and Bina, We're All Set, Color Me Pom Pom, and Deep Sea continues to sit right behind them after a 45 and 2 half mile. High Kodiak Warrior has picked up stride 5th and trying to get involved at the top of the stretch. It is We're All Set from Juan and Bina, and now Deep Sea swings to the outside of them, and Deep Sea is moving up alongside the pace-setting pair. High Kodiak Warrior is taken to the rail for the final 16th. Deep Sea on the far outside. We're All Set. High Kodiak Warrior coming up the rail. 3 of them down to the line. Deep Sea over We're All Set. High Kodiak Warrior and Juan and Bina.
Nice trip by number 2, Deep Sea, to win it. Pays $3.60. Owned by Richard Pell. Trained by Mark Cassie. Ridden to victory today by Jose Lescano. The 4th race, a 1-mile maiden event for 3-year-olds. 8 runners in the field. The big favorite, number 1, Sharp Azteca.
They're all in line. They're off. And it's Eric's Talisman who comes out running well. Lucky Ramsey on the outside. Between those two is Singleton, and up the rail, Sharp Azteca. Also flashing some early speed with Equine Perfection right behind them. It's going to be Sharp Azteca and Singleton to emerge up top as the field enters the backstretch, and they're clear by 2. Equine Perfection follows in 3rd. Eric's Talisman is 4th. Lucky Ramsey is 5th, and Time Will Tell to the outside, followed by El Rustico, and Master Magician trails after a 23 flat quarter. Moving up the backstretch, Sharp Azteca, 3/4 of a length. Singleton, 2nd to the outside. Equine Perfection, just in behind the pace setter, sits 3rd. Lucky Ramsey, 4th at the half-mile pole. Then Time Will Tell outside of Eric's Talisman. Down toward the inside, El Rustico is next by 2. Master Magician trails after a 46 flat half-mile. Around the far turn, Sharp Azteca the leader. Singleton trying to keep up in 2nd under a ride. Just behind them is Equine Perfection. 2.5 lengths more back to Eric's Talisman, who's racing inside of Lucky Ramsey. And now Master Magician is getting underway, riding the rail about 6 lengths off the lead as they come toward the top of the stretch. It is Sharp Azteca who's run 3/4 in 1:10 and 4, turning for home with the lead here, and in front by 2.5 lengths. Equine Perfection trying to make a race of it in 2nd, and these 2 are clear from Singleton. It is Sharp Azteca. Sharp Azteca by 2.5 lengths over Equine Perfection, and Sharp Azteca's pulling away late. Sharp Azteca finishes strong. Equine Perfection was 2nd, and then Singleton, Master Magician, and Eric's Talisman.
Number 1, Sharp Azteca, wins it. Pays $3.80. Owned by Gulfstream Farm LLC. Trained by George Navarro. And ridden to victory today by Edgar Zayas. 5th race, 7 furlongs. Claimers 4-year-olds and upward. The jockey on the 8 is Alendo Boca Chica.
They're off. Good start by Dreamin' of Clarice. On the inside, it's Bellamy Storm, who fires on through to show some early speed. Garabato is down on the inside, and Capital City goes up in between horses. And then it's Small Token, followed by El Caravan. Chillin' Dillon's on the far outside, 3 lengths off the lead and moving up. 2.5 lengths more back to Endogeny. And then it's Hugo Light, smoking the field, Palatine Hill. Divine Delivery and the Sundrop Kid is trailing the field through a 22 and 4 first quarter mile. It is Bellamy Storm in front with a half mile to go. Capital City a half length behind, running in second as the field makes their way for the far turn. Then Garabato on the inside and Dreamin' of Clarice. Chillin' Dillon is 5th, 4.5 lengths off the lead, and then El Caravan to the inside. Small Token is next, and a 5-length gap back to Palatine Hill and Endogeny as they make their way toward the top of the stretch. It is Capital City, Bellamy Storm on the inside. Outside of them, Garabato is going up. And now, as they turn for home, Capital City and Garabato are 1-2. And then it's Bellamy Storm. Chillin' Dillon's on the far outside. A lot of work to do. Then El Caravan along the rail and Small Token. And now Capital City is pulling away. Capital City by 5 as they come down to the line. And Capital City and Edgard Zayas win going away to Garabato. Then El Caravan, Chillin' Dillon, and Bellamy Storm.
Number 4, Capital City draws off to win it, pays $8.60, and gives jockey Edgar Zayas his second victory today, owned by Guarneri Stables Incorporated and trained by Antonio Sano. The 6th race, 1 mile on the turf. These are claimers 4-year-olds and up, which have never won 3 races. 10 runners in the field.
They're off. Ginger Goose started well, and there goes Ender Zone right up alongside. These two will lead the pack into the first turn inside the pipe. Settles back right behind them, running in third. A little bit wide into that turn as Duval Street saves all the ground. Are We Not Men 5th between those two. Big Bazinga's guided to the inside in 6th. 5 lengths off the lead early on and clear 2.5 lengths from Friends with K-Mill. And then back to Jolly Dancer, who's at the back of the field with Van Holiday and Filmmaking as they race on to the backstretch. Ginger Goose is the leader from Xander Zone through a 23 and 1 opening quarter mile. Inside the pipe is on the far outside. Are We Not Men between horses, and at the rail it's Duval Street. Big Bazinga right in behind them, racing 3.5 lengths off the lead. Another 2.5 to Friends with K-Mill, and then comes Jolly Dancer, Filmmaking, and Van Holiday, who continue to linger at the back of the field. So they continue their move up the backstretch and for the far turn, a 46 and 2 half mile for Ginger Goose, who's pressed along by Xander Zone into the far turn, and now they're just a head apart. A break of another 2 lengths more back to Big Bazinga. Are We Not Men? And outside of them, inside the pipe, tries to keep up in 5th. Then Friends with K-Mill. Moving up on the far outside is Jolly Dancer. Duval Street is down toward the rail, dropping back. And then comes Filmmaking and Van Holiday. And they're coming toward the top of the stretch. Ginger Goose, Xander Zone. And on their outside, Big Bazinga comes charging now. It is Ginger Goose, Big Bazinga. And Xander Zone back into third. Big Bazinga to the front. Big Bazinga and Jose Lescano pulling away to win it. It's going to be a photo for second there. Maybe Xander Zone on the line with Friends with K-Mill, and then came Ginger Goose and Are We Not Men.
Number 7, Big Bazinga comes up large for the owners and pays $9.40, owned by Bull and Bear Racing Stable, trained by Katerina Vasileva, and ridden today by Jose Lescano, his second win on the card. We'll take a short break. We'll be back for race number 7.
Our day begins early, preparing for the task ahead, focused on a single goal. Then it's showtime, ready to face another challenge. And while victory may be uncertain, you can always bet on us to be at our very best.
Welcome back for our 7th race of the afternoon. 7.5 furlongs on the turf. These are maiden claimers, 3-year-olds, and we have a jockey change in number 9, make the rider Matthew Rispoli. Scratch the also eligibles 13, 14, 15, and number 16.
They're off. And McFly goes out to the front. Grand Venezuelan is away well. Ransack now rushing up on the outside. El Globo is right behind them, fourth along the rail, moving for the turn. Then Table Talk, followed on the outside by Patty Ryan, who's 3 wide going into the turn. Then Dynamite Kid down toward the rail. Divine Warrior is next. And then it's God's Greatness. Break of another 3 lengths more back to Magic Mangus as they head to the backstretch. And then comes Accelerado and Best Concert. So the field hooks up with the backstretch, and the leader is McFly. On top by 3/4 of a length here over Ransack through a 23-2 first quarter mile. These two leading them up the backstretch just in front of Grand Venezuelan, who's racing down on the inside of Patty Ryan. El Globo in tight between those two. And then comes God's Greatness to the outside, 4 lengths off the lead up the backstretch. Then Dynamite Kid inside of Divine Warrior and Table Talk. 2 lengths more to Magic Mangus. Accelerato is next, and the trailer is Best Concert. The half was 47-1. McFly on top as the field heads around the far turn. Ransack is a length behind in second. Grand Venezuelan follows in third. Now these 3 have moved away about 5 lengths ahead of the rest. In the meanwhile, in the back of the pack, Best Concert and Accelerado are both gaining ground, but a lot of work to do for them. They're into the stretch, and it's McFly and Ransack. And with 1 furlong to go, these two a length and a half apart and clear of Grand Venezuelan in third. The others are well behind, and McFly keeps on going. McFly and Rafael Hernandez all the way to beat Ransack. Then Grand Venezuelan, Dynamite Kid, and Best Concert.
Number 1, McFly takes them wire to win it and pays $16.40. Owned by Arundel Farm, trained by Ronnie Werner, ridden to victory today by Rafael Hernandez. The 8th race, 5.5 furlongs. These are maiden claimers. Phillies 3-year-olds. The claiming price $12,500. Scratch the 11, Love Like Mine. Scratch the 14, First Dixie, and the 15, Stacy's Reflection.
They're off. Little Dane started slowly. It's Mrs. Aida L. who goes out to take the early lead. Picky Bits is away running in second position as the field heads up the backstretch. Then Starship Maiden, Vienna Saki, and Between Horses, Feeling Awesome is next. Down toward the inside, it's Our Bling Shines as they move for the turn. And they're followed by Imperial Assault. Break of another 2.5 lengths more. Back to Miss 7 racing on the outside of Baby Antonella, and moving through on the inside is Lydia Elena. The trailer is Miss Niagara. Actually, there's one more well at the back of the pack, and that's Little Dane. So it's a 23 flat opening quarter mile. They're coming toward the top of the stretch. Picky Bits and Vienna Saki turning for home together. Starship Maiden circles up on the far outside. Our Bling Shines is after that. Mrs. Aida L drops back along the rail. In the center of the track, Baby Antonella is trying to get going late. Furlong to run. Picky Bits, Vienna Saki, Starship Maiden to the outside. Our Bling Shines coming up the rail, and Baby Antonella's on the far outside. 5 of them coming down to the wire. Miss Elena's a close-up 6th as they come down to the finish. Our Bling Shines comes up the rail to win. And then it was Picky Bits, Vienna Saki, followed by Lygia Elena and Baby Antonella.
Number 3, Our Bling Shines, rockets up the rail to win it and pays $6.60. Owned by Barry Berkelhammer and Richard Arrowville, trained by Terry Pompey, and that gives jockey Rafael Hernandez his 2nd consecutive victory. The 9th race, 1 mile on the turf. These are maiden 3-year-olds. Scratch the 8, the 11, 13, 14, and number 15.
They're off. And it's Get the W who had a good start. Stockyard is up and on the pace too, and Montauk Man on the far outside is going up. In Between Horses, Super Stand now is up and after the lead, and Montauk Man will be taken back to sit in 4th early on. And then it's Immunity behind them running in 5th as they make their way toward that first turn. Brian Bakes Cookies is after that, a 3-wide run into the turn for Turf Commander. A break of another 2 lengths more, and they're followed by 11 Cent Fainter, who was 3rd last early on, just ahead of Hard Study and the trailer Subliminal. So they make their way onto the backstretch here with Stockyard the leader. Stockyard on top, a half a length. Superstand on the outside, 2nd. Get the W follows 3rd at the rail. And then it's Montauk Man in 4th as they continue the run up the backstretch. Then Brian Bakes Cookies, fifth on the inside and racing about 4.5 lengths off the lead alongside of Turf Commander. Then it's Immunity, 11-cent Feiner to the inside, followed by Hard Study. Subliminals last of them all with 9 lengths to make up. And the favorites in front, Stockyard leads the field into the far turn. Super Stan on the outside and Neck back running in second. Turf Commander is going up to the outside of them. There's 3 across the track now. And right behind them is Get the W, racing on the inside of Montauk Man. Brian Bakes Cookies is sent along from 6th, and they're coming to the top of the stretch. And here's Turf Commander. Turf Commander sweeps to the front at the top of the stretch by Stockyard. Montauk Man is now charged into second, and here he comes. Montauk Man coming after Turf Commander. Montauk Man, Turf Commander, Get the W on the outside. Brian Bakes Cookies. It's Montauk Man. Then Turf Commander, Brian Bakes Cookies, Get the W, and Stockyard.
Number 10, Montauk Man wins it for owner Chris Fotakis, trained by John Kimmel and ridden to victory today by Juan Leyva. The 10th race, 1 mile on the turf. These are claimed as 4-year-olds and upward. Scratch 10, 13, 14, 15, and number 16.
They're all in line. They're off. And Lasso is sent out there to take the lead. Niche from the far outside, Depeche Chad and Live in Joy from the rail, all with good early speed as well as they make their way into that first turn. And clearing the field is Lasso. Lasso has made the front and leads it by 1.5 lengths. Niche on the outside second, Live in Joy follows in third. On the far outside going up is Tiger Bourbon. After that it's Fear of the Falcon, Starship Zorro in behind them. Then lay it down to the inside, Depeche Chat, Bingo Bango Bongo. Lawyer Jim is next, and Spring About is the trailer. 23 flat was the quarter as they move on to the backstretch in pursuit of Lasso, who leads the way by almost 2 lengths over Niche. Tiger Bourbon, and down on the inside Live in Joy. Right behind them is Fear of the Falcon, who runs along in 5th just to the outside of Starship Zorro up the backstretch. Then it's Depeche Chat, followed by Lay It Down to the inside, Bingo Bango Bongo, Spring About, and Lawyer Jim. They went 46-1 for a half mile, and around the far turn, Lasso continues to lead the way. Live in Joy now moves up alongside in second. 2.5 lengths back to Fear the Falcon. Then Starship Zorro and Depeche Chat. Spring About has made a good run from the back of the pack on the far outside. And they're into the stretch, and it's Lasso. Still the one to catch. Live in Joy to the outside second. 4 lengths more back to Starship Zorro. And then it's Lay It Down, and on the far outside, Spring About. It is still Lasso, and Lasso's got plenty left. Lasso goes all the way to beat Live in Joy, and then it was Lay It Down, followed by Depeche Chat and Starship Zorro.
Number 9, Lasso wins it and pays $6.80, owned by Monster Racing Stables, and that gives trainer George Navarro his second win today, ridden to victory by MSCL Jaramillo. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, it will be feature race time. It's the Melody of Colors. Welcome back. It is the 11th and feature race. It is the first running of the Melody of Colors, $75,000 guaranteed, 5 furlongs on the turf, 8 runners going to the post.
They're off in the Melody of Colors. And it is More Royalty who sprints out to the front, with Cashback away running in second, sitting behind this pacemaker. And then it's Brandy's Girl to the outside, 1.5 lengths to My Dear Venezuela. Then Dad's Kiddo down on the inside. They're followed by Can Do and Blushing Humor. And the early trailer here is High Holiday. So it is More Royalty who leads the field into the far turn. More Royalty is the leader. Meanwhile, Cashback is getting shuffled back to 4th on the turn, as Brandy's Girl takes second, My Dear Venezuela third. Cashback rides the inside, then Can Do right up alongside, but going 4 wide. Dad's Kiddo is in behind them, and then it's Blushing Humor and High Holiday, and they're coming to the top of the stretch. More Royalty turning for home in front. Cashback rides the 3 jockeys are down here, As we come down to the final 16th of the race, here comes Cash back on the outside to take the lead and win the Melody of Colors over More Royalty. Dad's Kiddo and Blushing Humor.
Number 3, Cash Back, wins at pace $3.40, owned by Richard and Bertram Klein, trained by Brad Cox, and that gives jockey Jose Lescano his 3rd victory on the day. The 12th and final race, 1 mile on the turf. These are maiden claimers. 3-year-olds scratched the 4, 7, and 14. The jockey on the 6 is Alex Gonzalez. The jockey on the 10 is Joshua Navarro.
They're off. Ad 4 hesitated coming out of there. Little Scotty is going out to lead them early. And then to the outside, Derby Champagne with some early speed, and through on the inside, Auburn Avenue with Looking Up along the rail. Right behind them is Sevens. Break of another 2 back to 2 steps forward, and then comes Cold Blood to the outside, and then a break of another 2 lengths more back to Make It Count as they make their way into that turn. And then comes Ad 4 to the outside, followed by Tone Daddy along the rail. The early trailer is Baltic Art. So the field makes their way onto the backstretch. Little Scotty the pacemaker by a length and a half over Derby Champagne in 2nd. And then comes Auburn Avenue in 7s as the field makes their way onto the backstretch. And that fraction obviously not correct. Length and a half farther back to Looking Up, running in 5th, 4 lengths off the lead. Then 2 steps forward to the outside, gap of another 4 lengths more back to Make It Count. And then comes Cold Blood, followed by Ad 4 and Baltic Art and Tone Daddy. So the field makes their way into the far turn. Little Scotty on top. Little Scotty and Jose Caraballo lead the field around the far turn in front by 2 over Derby Champagne in 2nd. Auburn Avenue is 3rd to the inside, 3 lengths off the lead as the field makes their way around the turn, and then Sevens, followed by Looking Up. 2 steps forward is circling up on the far outside as Little Scotty turns for home in front. Little Scotty off the turn. Derby Champagne a length and a half back in 2nd. After a wide run, 2 steps forward is now up into 3rd. Little Scotty still trying to hold on to this lead. Derby Champagne is closing the gap on the outside. Little Scotty and Derby Champagne coming down to the wire together. It's going to be close. It is going to be a photo that may have gone to Little Scotty over Derby Champagne. And then it was 2 steps forward, Looking Up and Tone Daddy.
Number 8, Little Scotty takes some wire to wire and pays $8.20 to win, owned by J&J Stables and Priscilla Vacareza, trained by Carlo Vacareza, ridden to victory today by Jose Caraballo. In the pick 5, 5 of 5, $239.20, 4 of 5, $6.05. The Rainbow 6, $2,454.14. The carryover going into Sunday, $1,531,105.63. The Super High 5 paid $27,844.80. And that wraps up Saturday's card, but another great day here on Sunday. 12 races, including the Margate Handicap. Boy, what a fun day it'll be at Gulfstream Park. Good night and good luck.